Welcome to 10K Tuesday. Hey, welcome to 10K Tuesday. What are we doing today? Well, we're pissing off dogs. Their job is to protect these goats, and they just think I'm a threat, so they're just doing their job. They're telling me to get away from their goats, and so anyway, I'm moving right along.
I've been hearing you crying. I've been hearing you. Let's see if we can't figure you out. Yay!
But what do we do here on this channel? Well, every Tuesday, we run 10 kilometers, and we have this audacious goal of making $10,000 on a Tuesday. And you know, my vehicle for doing that would be day trading. Well, today, we're gonna talk about the Murph. And so that went down this Memorial Day weekend. And so it seems like we've developed a tradition of I come to town and I get with my homies, and we have a nice dinner and stuff, and I crash with them, and we do the Murph. If you're unfamiliar with the Murph, it is an event that the CrossFit community started some time back to honor Lieutenant Michael Murphy, who died in Afghanistan in 2005. He sacrificed himself to protect his patrol. Actually, they made a movie about it. It's called Lone Survivor. It stars Mark Wahlberg, if you're interested in checking out. Good movie. The cool thing about this event is just come as you are. You do not need to be a stud. People of all shapes and sizes, you know, both men and women, do this thing, and you know, it's not competitive.
And this is where I want to operate. This is my rig, and there's no other rig like it.
That's something that you really need to keep in mind. You don't win the Murph like you win a marathon or a conventional race. You do the Murph because it is in this adversity of doing the Murph. I'll tell you the requirements here in a moment, bear with me. It's in this adversity of doing these physical things that we are honoring the sacrifice that this man made for his patrol. So here's the event in itself. You are wearing a bulletproof vest the entire time, which could weigh anywhere between 20 and 30 pounds. You run 2 miles. You've run the first mile. You're Murphing it, Fran.
I'm Murphing it. You're Murphing it, Jack.
You come back and you do a series of exercises. The exercises are as follows. You do 100 pull-ups, you do 200 push-ups, you do 300 air squats. Then you go run another mile again, all wearing the bulletproof vest. So the cool thing that we do to make it manageable or digestible is partition it. So if you do 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats, rinse and repeat 20 times. Bear with me, I know math kind of sucks sometimes. If you just do those 3 sets, right? Those 3 manageable sets, 5 pull-ups, 2 push-ups, 15 air squats, do it 20 times, then it's doable. It's doable. So the whole thing is a great metaphor, you know? The more I think on it and chew on it and reflect on what I just did yesterday, man, just what a great metaphor for life it is, because we see these crazy things that we either want to accomplish or we need to accomplish, and just seems insurmountable. But if we take a step back and we plot and plan, okay, well, if we do it in these bite-sized chunks, little by little by little, without taking back steps, we'll get to the goal. And so that's where the partitioning of think about it. If somebody said, dude, you need to do 100 pull-ups, nobody can do that, really. Nobody can do that on the bar without dropping off. You've got to break it up. A lot of you might realize that there are push-up records, there are pull-up records. A lot of people know about David Goggins, right? He's the Godfather, OG, ex-Navy SEAL, who so many people look up to in the fitness world, and he was a badass, as a SEAL, and now he's a badass as an ultra athlete, and most people really dig him. So he had a pull-up record at one time. How did he do those pull-ups? He did not hang on a bar and do 2,700 pull-ups. He did a few pull-ups and then dropped off the bar. Rested, hopped back up, did some more pull-ups, and then hopped off the bar. He planned how he was going to do it. He said, I'm going to do a few pull-ups and then rest, a few pull-ups and then rest. It's like, oh my gosh. You know, when somebody says, hey, they did 2,700 pull-ups, nobody thinks about that. I don't think they think, you know, I'm presuming what you think. But if you break it down into digestible portions, then you can achieve it. So that's how we did the Murph. You know, I think to myself, maybe I'll do 100 pull-ups next time, just like Davy Goggins did, then move on to 200 push-ups, then move on to the 300 air squats, and then partition those. But nevertheless, it was, no matter which way you cut it, it's still gonna be a little bit tough. Pretty gratifying to put that last scratch in. All right, one more mile run. Right now, I am crazy sore. And what am I doing about it? Well, I'll tell you, I'm gonna go jump in a very cold pond. So grateful that I have good friends that hosted me and had me up, cooked me big old fat steaks, and then we had a crawfish boil afterwards. Great tradition. Let's go cheer on our buddies.
Turn it up!
Turn it up!
Turn it up, Dale! Strong finish for Fran. Strong finish. Woo! Woo! That's your sister.
I know, that's my sister, brother.
That's your sister, brother.
Hey!
The cool thing about doing these events is the reward you get after you do it. You know, I ate a couple of donuts. Gosh, I ate like 8 brownies yesterday. So the reward after the adversity is just amazing. You know, if you sit around and eat donuts on the regular without treating yourself, I think that that's a recipe for depression. Because, you know, the spikes that you know, the sugary things give you, they're dopamine hits. Scientists have said that eating ice cream causes the same euphoric effect in your brain that crack does. Like, they've done brain scans to prove it. It's not somebody's opinion. There might be a smartass out there that says, why don't you just go smoke your big old crack rock after you finish these races? Don't do that. But the brownie or the ice cream or the donuts, just having 1 or 2, you know, you don't need to go nuts. I think that's just great, in my opinion, because I don't want to suffer. I want a new life. I don't want to do a temporary challenge. I want this to be a part of my existence. Like, it's normal to exert yourself ever so often, is the way I kind of want to roll. And even though I'm sore, I'll be all right. And on top of that, when you're living this kind of life, you schedule these things. And guess what? Now we get into my philosophy of put something challenging on your calendar and do something creative. So my homies called me up and said, hey, you want to do the Murph? Yes, I do. There's something challenging on my calendar. So now that's done, I need to find a new itch to scratch. But anyway, I just love this, and it's not the Scott Show, it's to help you. That's why I make this content. I teach in order to help myself learn. So it's selfishly for me, so I kind of get my act together. If you can't teach it, you don't know what you're talking about, is the way I feel about it. So I'm trying to find my words, articulate it, and it selfishly makes me learn better. However, if you're picking up something off of it, that leads into something else that I really dig, and that is I think that we're here to heal ourselves and teach others to do the same thing. So it's all about you. I want this stuff to help you, and I'm just documenting my existence, and I know it's going to help somebody out. If it just helps one person, man, that just really makes my day. I love it when somebody makes a comment to me, and that what I've said or shown them has affected them deeply, and I just that's my dopamine hit. I really dig that, and I really live for it. Showing our appreciation for what Michael Murphy did on or about Memorial Day weekend, in my opinion, that adversity is a really nice way to show gratitude. You know, Thanksgiving, what do? we show up every year, we cook a bunch of food, and we overeat. But one cool thing that I've noticed is, have you guys noticed these things called like turkey trots, or 5Ks, little races around Thanksgiving? And that's how I feel the best way to give thanks. And oh, look at this giant vulture here. I hope he's not here for me. I don't know if you saw it or not. There he is, flying away. He was sitting on that guy. We're coming up on the pond. Anyway, what we're talking about? Talking about giving thanks through adversity. I think I don't know of a better way to acknowledge sacrifice. You can't repay it. You can say, hey man, thanks. But going through this ritual of adversity, I think is a nice way of saying thank you. Here we are, by the way. This is another thing, this adversity thing. My brain is saying, why are you trying to do this? It's going to be cold. It's not going to be comfortable. But the observer outside me is saying, this will help heal your muscles. This will help invigorate you. This will help drive blood to enrich your organs. It's a good thing for you, Scott. When you come out on the other side of this adversity, you're going to feel so much better than if you had sidestepped it. Just like how you felt amazing after you completed the Murph. You deserved that donut, So, cool. Let's hop in this thing. One, two, three. That was not half as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oh, that was not that bad. Oh my gosh. Yet another thing that's comparable to the Murph or any other race or event that you've never done and you want to start. You think it's going to be far tougher than it actually is. And once you get in and you're doing it for just a little small amount of time, then, something in your brain says, hey man, you can do this because you're doing it. Oh man. All right, let's get dried up. Oh my gosh, that was so worthwhile. Oh, I want this for you. Please, this cold water submersion stuff that so many people talk about, I think a lot of folks think, oh, it's a fad, it'll go away. Man, there's something to it. Like right now, I feel no soreness from all that exertion from yesterday. It is temporary. I'm gonna get sore again, but it's gonna facilitate the healing better. I will heal faster than those who don't do cold water submersion after the event. Cold water submersion is now pretty much a part of every professional athlete's recovery regimen. So those guys know. So do what the pros do, I guess. And of course, if you don't have access to cold streams or ponds or creeks or oceans, the gateway to cold water submersion, by the way. At the end of your shower, switch it to cold and try to stay under it for about a good minute. Anyway, that's actually how I started. I just started there, and now I can do some cold stuff. And once I'm in it, it's not so darn bad. And then when I come out of it, you feel like $1,000,000. So another awesome thing about these events is the fellowship and the camaraderie. And I've got these wonderful friends, Jack and Fran and Dale.
Fine vintage, Doug?
And shoot, even got to see Jack's dad, Doug. I enjoy spending a lot of time with him too. We're all good golfing buddies as well. Celebrating life, eating good meals together. And we had a big fat steak the night before the event. And then after the event, well, we had a crawfish boil. And that's just really so special to me because Jack goes to so much trouble to get those things. He gets them from Louisiana, shipped up live. They show up and then just lays out this huge table of crawfish and invites the whole neighborhood. And that's just something that I do not take for granted. I'm so lucky and blessed to have friends like them to do that and to invite me to do that. Man, I mean, what can I say? I'm just so grateful to be a part of that. And then to do the physical event of the Murph, well, that's so cool as well. Let's not try to miss out on life. And when you get good people in our lives, man, just latch on to them. Don't let them go. Keep those relationships going because I now live, 5 hours away from them. So I don't see them like I used to. This event was just a wonderful tradition to come back and do, just like whether it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, it's up there with it. So should you find an event, whether it be the Murph, whether it's a 5K or an 8K or, any kind of challenging thing, I highly encourage you, put it on your calendar, get a friend, and just do it. Just do it, and I promise you, it will make you feel so fulfilled, so alive afterwards that you didn't sit on the sidelines and you tried it. And there's no failing it, If you show up and you do some of it and you can't finish it, well, you tried, didn't you? You showed up. You're not going to wonder what it was like. You're going to know in your bones what it was like. I just don't want anybody going to their grave wishing that they should have tried something, because what's the worst that's going to happen? All right, you try something called the Murph and you couldn't do all the pull-ups, you couldn't do all the push-ups, you had to walk through some of the mile. At the end, what's the end result? You're still alive, and you're more alive than you were before. So please, 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 I highly encourage you to do this stuff. Give it a shot. Grab a buddy. Say, hey, let's do this together. It's going to be for the better for you, I promise. So at the end of the Murph, we went back to Jack and Fran's place for the crawfish boil. And a handful of participants from the Murph came, and we're telling the war stories and stuff, and even talking a little trash too. And so one of the guys was talking about, hey man, did you see what Earl looked like on those air squats? And they're like, yeah man, what was he thinking? And in essence, he had bad form is what it all boils down to. As a matter of fact, I made a video about the Murph last year. Because I'm making videos, I see myself and what I'm looking like, and I noticed, hey, I don't think I got low enough on those push-ups. I think that was my critique of last year's performance, right? It occurred to me that this fellow that they were kind of trash talking about, I don't think he had any idea what he looked like. I think in his mind's eye, he looked like he was having good form and doing it right. So what's the lesson that I'm taking from that, and maybe you can as well, is we have an idea of what we look like, but it might not be accurate with what we are displaying to the world. How do we fix that? we need to see what we look like unbiased. We need a mirror. We need to see what we look like. We need to see the good, of course, but we need to see the bad and the ugly so we can correct it. We have blind spots. You know, how do we correct it? You know, that guy having bad form on this particular exercise because he couldn't see himself. Maybe if he had a video seeing himself flopping around like a fish when he thought he was just doing stellar squats, you know, maybe that will change some things for him if somebody were to reveal that to him. So what's the lesson? What's the big lesson? I think for me, you know, because I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, is I believe we need to have an image of, gosh, this is just so gorgeous and it's distracting. I love, love, love this place. I believe that we need to establish an image of what we want to be like, and then try to step in to that character and do the things that that character would do, talk like how that character would do, behave how that character would behave, and do these things even when nobody's looking. And then we will become that character. I don't know if we ever fully arrive. I think it's just something we're just trying to take step by step to get there every day. And so that bad form, you know, that could be a metaphor for many things in our lives, how we conduct ourselves. And once it's shown to us that we're not doing right, that we could do better, it would wake me up and say, okay, I want to do better, whether it's a lousy push-up or how I conduct myself. I used to cuss a lot more in these videos, and somebody pointed out to me that I cussed too much. And I took offense to it, but he was right. So I try to cuss a little less. Anyway, I hope it's helping you. I'm on the path. I don't know it all. I'm trying. And I hope you decide to try as well. And I think we'll all be better off for it. So thank you for joining me for 10K Tuesday. And should you have a Murph event near you, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go and you try it. And the community of folks that do this stuff, man, they're just top notch. It's the kind of thing where, like, if you leave your car unlocked and you're at these things, you're gonna be fine. There's nothing but good folks doing it, and the way everybody cheers each other on and roots for you, man, it's just nothing but upside. I want that for you, and I hope it helps. And if you find my content helpful, by all means, why don't you hit that like button and consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you a dime, and I put something out at least every week, and sometimes more when I can get around to it. So do not waste this day. We'll see you next time. Adios.